What's up? What's up? What is up? And welcome to the Dr. Ali Griffith Show, Mindset, Meditation, and Motivation. And yes, we are still in your Launch Your Brand edition, Launch Your Own Brand edition. And I am bringing together a lot of trailblazers. I mean, if you took a chance back to rewind or look at or listen to some of our other interviews, you can tell that we've been blessed with some folks with some empowering information for you. And our guest tonight is going to, or right now, I should say, whenever you're listening to this, is going to be another empowerment message on how you can stand aside, stand out, stand up, and just show up for the new year as we are exploring 2021 and beyond. So stay tuned. You're going to hear some juiciness. Definitely share this out and definitely invite someone else and leave us your comments as we go through this experience. Stay tuned. All right, so we are back. It's always dope. Whenever I'm recording this and I'm doing the interview, I always take a break to pause because I know that's when they're going to start putting in all of that zhuzh and fluff in the between. But I always feel so awkward. I'm like, doo, 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 doo. All right, y'all. So we have Miss Duquesa Dean. She is a CEO and entrepreneur of Duquesa Dean. It's her own name, her own brand, which is the name of her business, and she has been rebranding like most of us are. And I love the authenticity of it because it's something that I pretty much go through every single year, starting off as one brand, but as we get more clearer in how we're really purposed to serve people, and truly as our audience and or our clients come up and show us really where they need us, we get clear on how we're out here to serve you. So that's the first lesson already. It's already began. When you launch your own brand, some of us get so caught up in exactly what it's going to be, like it's going to commit us for the rest of ever. And it doesn't. It's just where you are right now and how you're serving right now. And most often, within another few months or by the beginning of the next year, if you've truly done your work and you truly tapped into those who you're called to serve, you'll get clearer. So, Duquesa, how are you showing up now? Like, where were you before? And then how do you feel now? So, someone else can also resonate with that question of what do I do in terms of choosing the brand to show up as?
Well, Dr. Ali, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here to share with you and to share with your listeners. Um, how did I get to where I am today? A constant process of rebuilding, evolving, leveling up my skill set, leveling up my outreach, serving more and higher each year. And the more I serve, the more I evolve. And so my business evolves as I evolve. So when I first started this journey, I was a naive young woman on a mission to help save all the women in the world. I was Wonder Woman. I wore it on my chest and I wanted to make a difference, but I didn't have all of the mechanisms. And so I had a degree of success. And unfortunately, I hit a plateau. I got to a point where I'd taken myself to that point and could get no further. So the evolution started again as I began to be mentored and coached by other movers and shakers that are doing the same thing that I'm doing. And perhaps even some of those people were doing different things, but impacting the world in the same way, wanting to make a difference. And so in this season, what I found that I had to do to get me to my next level was actually engage the services of some support staff. And they are people, for instance, I had to get engaged with a marketing agency. I live in the Bahamas, as you know. My outreach is beyond the Bahamas, and my name is a name that I want to resonate with women globally. As somebody who has demonstrated the power of being at rock bottom, but rebuilding their life. And so I've engaged the services of experts that can help me leverage my strengths and can take me further than I can take myself. I also engage the services of a communication specialist, someone that understands women, the profiles of women, the things that we struggle with. And so tailoring my communication so that I can connect better is also a part of my evolution for the year 2021.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. The scariest part is investing in ourselves and figuring out what do we need. And as we start the year off, and we have a very similar journey, even though, like you said, we may be professionals in one area, but when you expand into a different capacity where you're really called to serve everyone, and then you
Yes,
have to get really clear on, okay, I know I can't do everyone because I'm only one person. Let's really fine tune exactly who am I called to serve, at least at this period in time. And the scariest part is a lot of us try to do it by ourselves. We try to
yes,
figure it out on our own. And let me tell y'all something. If you want to learn something about saving time and you don't want to go around in circles, the first step is to invest in something, someone that can help you with clarity in getting your message across, or to connect who you are with who you're called to serve, so that language interacts and intersects. So as an audiologist, speech pathologist, I love communication. I'm a communication guru. I may serve other women in launching their own brand because that's where the vine has led me to, and where people have asked for. But truly, what made me truly successful is that ability to communicate, to listen, to hear, to discern, and then to express authentically as myself. We met through another campus. We met through our sisterhood. We both are products of the Lisa Nichols and the Motivating the Masses camp. And it's always an honor to support and to collaborate and co create with another tribe sister. So tell me a little bit from when we first met, which I think it was about maybe a year or two ago,
yeah.
to where you are now. What does that evolution look like? So somebody else can also hear that you got to evolve, and evolvement occurs through this process.
Absolutely. Joining the Motivating the Masses campus was something that I knew was necessary for my next step, learning how to elevate. And so at the time that I started the campus, there were some things that were not in my strength zone. They were in my passion zone, but I was not really strong at them, not as strong as I needed to be. And so one of those things, actually, Dr. Ali, was mindset. As much as we want to believe that we think all the right things and we know it all, there are times when our voice, the voice of reason, keeps us back, because that voice of reason is telling us only go so far and don't push the limit. And so we have the voice of reason in our head setting limitations on us. We also have the voice of no, you can't. How dare you make an attempt to do this? Right. And so we have to reason with that voice as well. But being on this journey of evolution, I've learned how to saturate my mind more with words that affirm my abilities, the possibilities, and that help me to stretch beyond my comfort zone. Because with the voice of reason, it's easy to get comfortable. It's easy to say, I did enough of this is good. But being able to evolve has helped me to stretch. And the more I stretch, then I find that I am growing more and more, and my mindset is elevating more and more. A part of my evolution too, Dr. Ali, has been in release. I've had to release not just people, I've had to release circumstances, I've had to release the past, I've had to release environments. And so when we think about release, a lot of times we think it's about letting people go. But there are events that happen in our lives that we hold to that anchor us to the past.
Mm-hmm.
So a part of my evolution was learning how to let go of situations that I had no control over, grab the lesson, and move forward with the lesson. A part of my evolution was getting away from environments that didn't honor me, where I had to kind of dumb down a little bit, or environments that tried to question who I am, the beautiful creation that God made in me. And so I had to leave those environments. And of course, I had to leave some people behind. That's what happens when you grow. When you grow, if the people around you aren't staying in continuous growth, they just kind of drop away. You stay in contact, but you level up, and different things mean different things to you both at that time.
Yeah, I know it's super scary, right? So, both of us almost have a similar path where when I started with the company, I was, supporting Lisa on the side and still trying to figure out where I was in this path or this journey. And a lot of the work we did through the inside and through paid programs were the evolution of mindset and stepping past where you're normally used to being and stepping past your immediate environment and allowing so much more. It's scary. It can be super scary, especially sometimes when you're moving beyond people and you're at that space where, oh my goodness, am I outgrowing folks? Am I leaving folks? And I don't want to be that one. But it's trusting the process and understanding, like you said, it's an evolution, it's a fine tuning. Some are gonna come and some are not gonna be there through that path, and then we just have to be grateful for that season and the reason why they came through at that time. Launching your own brand is super scary, right? Because we may start with one thing and then all of a sudden it gets shifted to another. Like I've even went through a process where I had to shift brand colors because I got fine tuned to the fact that I'm such a rebel. I got really clarified in my archetype. Of course, I'm a maverick. Why you see the red, why you hear the in the face. Yet I was leading with my lover, which is a tertiary archetype, which is which is I was all trying to love up everybody. And I remember my coach at that time, Jen Kem, was like, Dr. Ali, why are you living in your tertiary and not allowing the rebel, the outlaw, the unicorn that you truly are standing place so you can really go out there and get your misfits or unicorns or folks who are just the underdogs? When I began to embrace that place in where my brand was going, I saw my business elevated and I just felt so connected to being myself. So as you guys are listening right now, just know that it's an evolution. It's a process. You don't have to know all the answers, and definitely align yourself with people that can support you through the process. Part of the reason why this show is called Mindset, Meditation, and Motivation is because behind every business, behind every brand, behind every being, we're constantly working on our mindset. We're constantly finding ways of stillness to reconnect to ourselves, or at least trying to figure that part out, and definitely trying to be our biggest cheerleader. How were you your biggest cheerleader during those moments when you question, can I even continue this path?
Well, the reality is I had a good foundation to build upon. When I crashed in my life about 19 years ago, a mentor helped me to rebuild my life. And one of the first things that we worked on was building the foundation of who I am as a person, understanding my core values, understanding my vision, understanding my non-negotiables. And so with a firm foundation, when I face the voice of reason, and when I face the voice of negativity, when I face the negativity that may be in the world, I'm able now to reinforce myself, to remind myself of my purpose, to remind myself of my values, to remind myself of the purpose and the call that's on my life, and that's outside of anyone. That's what I believe God has placed in me. And my responsibility is to do everything I can to make sure that that purpose is fully lived out. And so I'm at a place now where I'm actually able to reaffirm myself. I still do my affirmations every day. Apart from affirmations, I do a lot of self-care. Every Sunday is my special day. Everybody, my family, everybody knows Sunday is my down day. That's the day that I replenish me, because I can't serve other people in resentment, disappointment, and anger. So on Sunday, I take the time to feed and fuel me so that I'm ready for the week ahead. And so I've learned the tools, the mindset tools. When I hear the 13-year-old girl popping up, the 50-year-old woman speaks back to her and put her in her place, let her know that she is the past and stays focused on the future.
Yeah, it's super scary when that 13-year-old, that child shows up, and that inner child shows up and it begins to question everything. And that's the place of the work. What I absolutely love that you said was using our foundation, getting back realigned with our foundation, getting back realigned with our core values, and understanding that these are some of the things that we have to continuously work on. The cool thing about all of this is that we do some of this with business also. And it's the funniest part because I remember when initially I started as a personal development coach, because that's a lot of the work that I did, but yet kept getting called into business because of the results I kept getting. And what I realized one of my strengths were the fact that, as a special needs mom, as an educator that helped individuals with different needs, I tend to make the complicated super simple. And people who needed that process in business development always tend to gravitate towards me. Initially, I thought it was just for autism moms because that's who I am. But then slowly but surely, other moms or other people kept sneaking in, like, okay, I need the simple ways also. And when we started developing their brand or actually working in their business, a lot of the core exercises always went back to establishing your foundations, getting
Yeah.
clear on your core values, knowing what it is that your mission and your vision is, so that you can truly create that brand that you desire. So I'm that chick that always say, let's go back to that business plan. Let's go back to that one page brand plan. Let's get super clear before expanding into where we think we're supposed to be going. There's something about getting back to fundamentals, getting back to the foundations of things and building on stronger ground than just trying to build fast. You know, I have
Yeah.
a lot of folks that come to me and they want to build fast. They want this immediately, and I get it. Trust me, I get the urgency. I was telling my Launch Your Own Brand Academy earlier today that I see you guys and I see some folks, you know, that come into my zone and they're all trying to do 50 million things at one time. And then I see the breakdown as it happens. And it reminds me to remind them and for them to remind themselves that stillness is important, that just getting clear on their next 1 to 3 actions are important, and that also that self-care during the process of growing your brand and growing your business is uber important. When we take on so much on our plate because of the need, the desire, I want to get it done fast, I want to get it done, you're actually blocking out the presence of God, the universe, or whoever is really supposed to be co-creating with you because
Yeah.
you think you got it all, right? So I love the fact that you brought up that part. Guys, as you're listening to this, if you're watching this, we are doing a quick recap. We're going into our podcast, and I just wanted to just go live on my Facebook group, Start, Build, and Launch Your Own with my moms, so they can get a little bit of the behind the scenes of how it is that, you know, we take who we are and we turn that into a brand. But
Yeah.
yet it's scary. What was the scariest part about starting your own brand?
Oh, I love that question, Dr. Ali. The scariest part for me was myself, my thoughts about the mistakes that I'd made in my life. I made some bad choices early in my life, and I thought that those would follow me forever and that my brand would be impacted. And when I spoke out or when I shared or when I tried to heal and help, that would bubble and surface. But I had a mentor, an amazing mentor, who taught me that the past only holds you as long as you allow it. When you deal with it and you release it and you let it go and you learn from it, you can move forward better. And so I just started to share those stories. I started to share the mistakes. I started to share the lessons. And the more I shared those things, the more I was connecting with the people that I'm called to serve. And the less the mistakes made any difference to me. They're just a part of the growing process. So that was one of my greatest fears, if my voice would be heard or if would be muffled by the past. And I want to just share the second fear. My second fear was that I wouldn't have the resources. Everybody is concerned about money. And one of the fears that I overcame was the fact that you don't need $1 to start. You actually can start without $1. And as you continue to evolve and grow, you can start to invest more and more in yourself. And so I found Lisa Nichols on YouTube. I couldn't afford her back then. And so I watched her on YouTube. I couldn't afford a graphic artist. I did some things on my own. And so gradually, step by step, I took action, even though I didn't have $50,000 or $80,000 backing me. And so the fear started to drop away as I started to take action because doors opened, networking opportunities came along. I got the opportunity to shine in environments I never would have if I hadn't taken it. I got business as a result of it, and the money that I needed started to come in.
And that's it. You know, it's so important because a lot of us use that money conversation, the fact that we don't have it now. And literally, I did a Q&A with my academy and some of my elite members earlier, and we were speaking about the fact that at the beginning, don't go investing in the highest type of CRM or the highest type of storage system, that there's always cheaper and there are more affordable ways for where you are. But the key part is to get started and take action. And you may not be able to afford that 10, $20,000, $40,000 coaching program at this time. But maybe try a lower one where you can do it, even though it's scary at that moment. And each level I go, it's a different level of investment for me, because each level I go, it's another level of growth that I have ahead for me. But we are the ones that talk ourselves out of it. We're the ones that say we can't, and as a result of not having or seeing it immediately, we don't open our doors or don't allow myself, for the rest of the doors to be open for you. So the key of what I love that you said is you gotta take action. You gotta go from where you are, take those steps where you are, trust the process, trust that you're in the right space. He does bring the right people for you at the right time. You may not know when that first client is going to show up, but just you showing up, that door to that first client shows up, and then that door to the next client in the other program, and there comes your money for reinvesting back into your business. But it can't happen if you're sitting in fear, if you're sitting in your own negative self-doubt, and if you're sticking with the negative stories about not having enough money. We all have enough money.
Yeah.
We all have enough for where we need to invest, and there has to be some level of invest, even if it's at our lowest capacity. I always say money is a cyclical energy, and if you keep it within, then nothing's going to come out of it. But if you share it out and you do what you can and you invest in what you can and you build and you build and you build, watch it just continue circularly coming back around so that you get the best from it. And then it opens and expands for more. And then
Absolutely.
whoever you serve, they also get the benefit of your investment. Like I love the fact that now I can teach and now help my moms out with my thousands upon thousands upon thousands of thousands of investment, but they're not there yet. But when they get there, they'll be able to invest in those levels, and then their clients will be able to benefit. So it's such an amazing time talking with you. Thank you so much for coming by and having some fun with us. Definitely let the folks know how they can stay in touch with you if they ever need that space of empowerment, that place of where they just need to land in so they can uncover their true selves. Where can they find you?
You can find me on social media, Duquesa Dean. My website is also duquesadean.com. You can always reach me on my website, contact me, book an appointment, however you feel it's there for your use. I'm available for you.
I love it. And y'all know I'm the branding queen. So when I start hearing that it's one site to find you, I love it. I'm always going to tell my newbies as you guys are starting out, I get it at the beginning, you don't know, but as you begin to grow, have one thing where they can find you. So like, as you're listening and watching, you guys can always find me at Dr. Ali Griffith everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, website, including the name of the podcast is the Dr. Ali Griffith Show. So I kept it in full alignment. So you can't say I can't find you. You cannot use that excuse. Now, if you choose not to find me, that's totally on you, but you definitely can't say you can't find me. Anyway, as always, I want to thank you guys for showing up today. I want to thank you for embracing this process and just being here. As I always say, make sure you share this out with someone else. Make sure you binge listen or binge watch something else, because obviously you're meant to be here for a reason. And make sure you invite a friend or someone else so they can get the goodness of the information and learn from it. So I always leave with this one question. I believe that you were divinely aligned and placed here for a reason. What message, if you were to give them a quick message, did you think that you were given to leave with the listener at this moment that's listening?
Um, I would say to the person hesitating to really take action, right? Like we overthink too much. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Map it out and in a draft form and take action. Believe in yourself. Like you've been given that gift for a reason. You've been given that gift because you have the capacity to bring that goal, that dream to life. We all have things we overcome. Get started, hook up with some people who are in the run, and stay in action.
I love it, love it. And as always, I want to leave you guys with our message. Continue to be amazing in your thoughts, your words, and in your actions. Peace. Remember, at this moment, we will have open enrollment for our Launch Your Own Brand Academy. So if you are interested in spending 12 weeks of work with me and my Mompreneurs tribe, just developing your brand from the start to the beginning and launching together, then definitely look into Launch Your Own Brand Academy and or send a message to me in the show notes and we can find out how you can get started. Don't grow alone because it's pretty lonely and it's slower. So gather up with someone who you trust and just align yourself and grow smart and grow strong. Until next time, y'all, peace.